That's a good cup of coffee. And I want to share with you what very possibly may be the most important set of molecules to your health you've never heard of. Catecholamines. Catecholamines mediate movement, thinking and emotion, memory, and even your hormones. But more importantly, when a person can find yourself suffering from low catecholamines, it may even affect your ability to enjoy America's favorite superfood, coffee. And as I'm sure many people, just like me, agree that as Americans, we just can't, as a country and in all good conscience, allow a threat to our national security, like those hardworking Americans having to give up on one of America's primary fuel sources of innovation, invention, and inspiration, coffee. Hi, I'm Dr. Greg Carter, one of the providers here, and I want to thank you for watching and welcome you to this edition of Supplement Sunday. Did you know that catecholamines are those principal neurotransmitters impacting an assortment of key and critical bodily functions? A person can consider these very important functions like motor control, brain, emotions, memory, optimizing your hormone regulation, using tips, tools, and techniques like and what's subscribed to here to correct brain malfunctioning due to that inappropriately present catecholamine deficiency deep inside your mind. So by now, because in many cases people realize that, studies are indicating their own challenges with movement, thinking, emotion, memory, and even a person's ability to optimize your hormones can be linked to neurotransmitter dysfunction and catecholamine deficiency. And studies indicate that people all over America, just like you, from sea to shining sea, are themselves also suffering from catecholamine deficiency, and those people seeking those treatments by now because they realize that they are getting those solutions to their own challenges like motor control and brain function and emotional stability and optimizing your hormone regulation, and they are in many cases seeing those beneficial results as well. So by now, because we know that neurotransmitter malfunction can be implicated in many neurologic and neuropsychiatric disorders, ranging from, get this, simple situational stress management to actual clinically diagnosed generalized anxiety disorder, it can become quickly apparent that a person learning how to maintain optimal brain function using tips, tools, and techniques like and what's subscribed to here, and getting that needed and necessary appropriate neurotransmitter support can start a person on the path to correcting those challenges with motor control and brain function and emotions and hormone regulation, as they are linked to neurotransmitter dysfunction in general and catecholamine deficiency specifically. Too much of a good thing? Man, it's still too much. When a person begins to find yourself low on those catecholamines, your nervous system can fire too often and too easily, resulting in anxiety and panic attacks, seizures, and numerous other mental conditions like addiction, headaches, Parkinson's, as well as cognitive impairment. All these may be related to catecholamine deficiency. Because it's almost self-evident, a good example helping to illustrate this effect is too much coffee or caffeine. Always remembering that too much is a subjective, situationally specific term. As a person drinks too much, it inhibits that calming neurotransmitter GABA. And remember that sensation, what too much coffee feels like? Remember that, because it's important you get this. That sensation, what too much coffee feels like, is the sensation of a brain firing without enough GABA. As we begin to realize that, of the many things that nectar of the gods coffee in general and caffeine does to your brain, we realize that too much coffee burns through your brain supply of that calming neurotransmitter GABA. As a person can begin to realize that catecholamines like GABA have been shown to properly regulate and mediate nerve impulses, remember GABA is that calming neurotransmitter and is made inside deep inside your mind and brain cells, along with glutamate, the excitatory neurotransmitter. Realize that glutamate is that life of the party, Mr. Excitement, pedal to the metal neurotransmitter. That for whatever your own reasons are, and for whatever your own reasons may be, people love that. Amped up, highly productive, get it done feeling that coffee and caffeine can bring. It's so awesome and can make a person feel so productive. On the flip side, it can deplete your catecholamines. So if you were to get this, it's important because the less GABA available inside your mind, the more those extra, inappropriate, out of control hyperexcitement, read anxiety transmissions occur. Just like when a person is feeling that strung out feeling from too much caffeine. So by now, because it's important to realize that even though most Americans enjoying that love affair with coffee and caffeine get this, because sometimes too much in the case of coffee and caffeine may be only related to you're not getting enough GABA on board. And discovering those other neurotransmitter building blocks critical to addressing those challenges with motor control and brain and emotion, memory, and hormones. Thank you for watching. When you realize that for whatever your own reasons are, that may be important only to you, and you're finding yourself wanting to get some GABA, please allow yourself the luxury and convenience of clicking on our link below, get some more information, and let yourself begin the process of starting, supporting, and supplementing with GABA. Thanks for watching.